It's college football weekend, and we got a lot of great games in store. I'm your host, Jackson Bryce, alongside analysts.
I'm Ryan Morrison.
And I'm Joe Smith.
All right, starting with the AAC, we have the 11-1 Houston against the 12-0 Cincinnati. Thoughts?
I like Houston in this game. Clayton Tune, quarterback for Houston, he's thrown for 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns. And the running back, Alton McCaskill, has rushed for 844 yards and 16 touchdowns. This team's offense is high-powering, and I feel like they're going to pull off the upset against Cincinnati this week.
I got Cincinnati winning this. They're undefeated this year, led by Desmond Ridder, who has 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns. They got a great defense, which is ranked number 8, and I think they're going to be able to shut down Houston, and that's why I got Cincinnati winning.
You know, me as a split vote, I'm going to take Cincinnati as well. 12-0, perfect season, number 4 in power rankings. This team just looks so dominant on both sides of the ball with their run game and their insane run defense. I think it just all really comes together. Moving on to the Big Ten, we have the 11-1 Michigan against the 10-2 Iowa. Michigan has jumped to number 2 in the power rankings now with the big win. What are your thoughts?
I like Michigan in this game, and I feel like they're going to pull away. Hassan Haskins, running back, he's coming off his biggest game of the season against Ohio State. He's ran for 1,230 yards and 18 touchdowns. And to add on the defense, this pass rush is lethal. Aiden Hutchinson, in my opinion, is the best defensive player in the draft, as he has 12 sacks this season, and I feel like he's going to go top 3 in the draft. So I have Michigan win.
I actually got the underdog in this. I got Iowa ranked number 13. I think their backfield with Tyler Goodson, he's got 1,100 yards this season. I think he can come up really big on offense with some big plays. They got a great defense and guys on the D-line who can really shut down opposing offenses. So I got the underdog, Iowa.
I think that's an ice-cold take out of you, Ryan. I think Michigan is going to be so dominant in this game, with what may be a potential Heisman candidate in Aiden Hutchinson, Hassan Haskins, and just this whole offense. I don't see them losing this game. I think it's going to be a maul. Moving on to the Pac-12, we have Utah at 9-3, number 17 in the power rankings against Oregon, who's 10-2. Oregon has won the last 3 Pac-12 championships, and we'll see if we can keep that going. What are your guys' thoughts?
Although Oregon has won the last 3 Pac-12 championships, Utah's beaten them this year, led by sophomore quarterback Cameron Rising. And he has 2,100 yards this season, 17 touchdowns with only 3 picks. I feel like his dominance in this game, he's going to show why he can lead this team to victory and take home the Pac-12 championship.
Well, I love an underdog, but I still got to go with Oregon here. They won the last 3 Pac-12 championships, the last one being over USC in 2020. They got great defense, featuring potential first overall pick Kayvon Thibodeau, who's been terrorizing quarterbacks all year and has been every year that he's played at Oregon. So that's why I got Oregon win.
I'm going to agree with you on that. Although Utah does have a really strong O-line, Kayvon Thibodeau is just unstoppable. And I think also with this Oregon offense performing really well recently, I think Oregon's going to take this one. Moving on to the SEC, this has been one of the most anticipated games, maybe of the entire weekend. We have Alabama at 11-1, number 4th in the power rankings, versus Georgia 12-0 at a perfect season, also number 1 in the power rankings.
In this game, I have another upset. I feel like Alabama's going to pull this one out. The game is playing in Tuscaloosa, and we all know that Nick Saban doesn't lose at home. They're led by Heisman candidate Bryce Young, who's been absolutely dominant this year, and I feel like he's going to do what he has to do to show why he's the Heisman winner and put this team on his back.
I got Georgia. They're undefeated this year, number 1 in the AP poll. They have been for a long time. They got an absolutely fantastic defense, best in the country, with guys like Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Darian Kendrick. They're going to absolutely destroy Bama's offense, so I got the Bulldogs winning.
I think this game is really going to come down to the injury of Brian Robinson Jr. This senior running back has been insane this year, and he does have a lower body injury and may sit out. And I think if he does sit out and Alabama is forced to rely on their pass game, Georgia can focus on that and shut it down. But if he's available, we all know this Alabama offense can be as explosive as they want, and they can put up 60 points on the board any given day. So if he's healthy, I have Alabama. If he's not, I'm going to take Georgia on this one. Moving on to the ACC, we have the 10-2 Wake Forest against the 10-2 Pittsburgh. Pretty even matchup here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Although Pittsburgh has Kenny Pickett, which in my opinion is the best quarterback in the draft, I feel like Wake Forest all around is much better. Sam Hartman, quarterback, he's the most underrated quarterback in the draft. He has 3,711 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. And their 2 playmakers on offense are A.T. Perry, wide receiver, and Ja'Cory Robertson, wide receiver. So that's why I feel like Wake Forest is going to win this game.
But with Pittsburgh, they got a great combination of Kenny Pickett, quarterback, like you said, arguably best QB in the draft. He's got 40 passing touchdowns, over 4,000 yards, and his number one target, Jordan Addison, absolutely dominant last few games, 1,300 yards on the season, 17 touchdowns. I think they're just too dominant of a duo, and that's why I got Pittsburgh winning.
I may have some bias being a Pittsburgh fan, but Jordan Addison has been on the tear recently, with some games with 200-plus yards, one game with 4 touchdowns, and recently against Syracuse with 2 touchdowns. I don't think he's stoppable, especially with this Wake Forest team not having an insane defense. I think Pittsburgh's going to take this one, as it is an offense-to-offense battle. Moving on to the Big 12, another great game here. Number 5 in the power rankings, Oklahoma State at 11-1 against Baylor, who is 10-2 and number 9 in the power rankings. Baylor usually relies on their defense, but this Oklahoma offense does provide a big challenge for them. Thoughts?
I feel like Oklahoma State's going to win this game, and with this win, I feel like they're going to get the last playoff spot in the college football playoff with the Cincinnati loss. Jalen Warren has been dominant this season with 1,134 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. Although Spencer Sanders is a game manager, I feel like he has what it takes to win this game, and that would be another top 10 victory for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. This Oklahoma State offense has been insane this year, and I think they'll be able to continue that and expose this Baylor defense, Baylor does rely on their defense, so I think if Oklahoma is able to expose them, it's lights out.
I think Baylor actually has a pretty underrated offense with Jerry Bohannon. 2,100 yards this year, 17 touchdowns, over 300 rushing yards, and 9 touchdowns on the ground. He's a great dual threat quarterback, and I think he can really take over the game if he needs to, and so that's why I got Baylor winning.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this college football weekend. I'm your host, Jackson Bryce, along with analysts Joe Smith and Ryan Morrison, and I hope you tune in this weekend for the results. Thank you.